Hi, my name is April, and this is High Fantasy Writing. Today, I want to talk a little bit about how to ask for critiques about your work. Because a lot of times this can be a very casual thing. It doesn't have to be a super serious, go to a professional type of, yes, my little kitty cat. Sorry, my cat's right here. So a lot of times it doesn't have to be you going to a professional to get your work critiqued. It could just be going to your friend and saying, hey, I wrote this little passage, what do you think about it? However, if your friend is a writer themselves or into reading a lot, it can be a little difficult for them to figure out what exactly you want from their critique. Yes, do you want to say hello? Oh, yes, yes. Just in time for Halloween, showing yourself just in time for Halloween. Oh, yes. So I've had this with some of my friends who are writers, and they'll write something that they're really proud of, and they'll hand it to me and they'll say, oh, take a look at this, what do you think? And I read it, and it's a first draft. It's just, say, a waking up in the morning getting breakfast scene. I don't know these characters. I don't know the story. I don't know what previously has been established in the story with the characters, what this scene is leading from. And so I'm not sure what level of critique I should be giving this first rough draft. So it's really important when you are handing somebody your writing to let them know what you're looking for them to say, what you're looking for them to give you a critique on. Because sometimes you just want to, you're really proud of something that you've written, and you just want somebody to read it and say, oh my gosh, this is fantastic, this is great, and that's all you want. But you need to be clear if that is what you want or not, because it's not helpful when I say I'm giving my manuscript over. So for me, when I'm giving my manuscript out to critique, it's not helpful at all for people to just say, oh my gosh, this is great, and then hand it back to me. Because that's not what I'm looking for when I give my work out for critique. I'm looking for people to say what works in it, what really moved them, or what didn't, and perhaps how I might be able to change it. So if you're somebody who's getting into writing and has writing friends, be sure to let them know exactly what you're looking for when you go to hand them your work for them to read over and let you know what they think about it. You can say things like, these characters that I've written, do they stand out to you? From this small scene, can you tell what they value? Can you tell what they're like as people? Can you tell what state of mind they're in, or what type of relationship they have with these people, other people who are in the scene? Or you can say, is this scene even engaging? Do I need to include this scene, or is this more for my own personal kind of fleshing out day in the life of my characters? Because sometimes that can be really helpful for us authors to write things that entire scenes that are just day in the life. How does this character react going to see this movie? What happens to them during that? And it's not something you want to include in your book, but it does help you as the author to have all of those in the background of your mind as you're writing the other scenes that are pertinent to the story, because seeing how they are in just average everyday situations can help you with characterization a lot. So letting the person you're getting a critique from know what exactly you're looking for is going to help you and the person critiquing out a lot in the long run. But keep in mind that if you're giving them just a random scene from a book that they have not read the rest of, it'll be very, very difficult for them to latch onto the characters, for them to let you know how the scene lands, because they don't know anything else about this thing that's going on. They don't know anything about these characters, this story. And so things that you might be really proud of and think, oh my gosh, this is so fantastic, the person reading it for the first time, your rough draft, is just kind of look at it like, I'm not sure what to say because I don't know anything about your story. So how can I give you a good, let you know what works or what doesn't if I don't know anything that's happened previously in the story? And a really, really important thing to keep in mind when you're asking your, say, writer friend for a critique of your scene that you've just written is be prepared. If you don't tell them that all you're looking for is for them to say this is great and move on, be prepared for them to give you critiques of it. Be prepared for them to tell you what's not working or what doesn't quite make sense or what might be a little bit melodramatic in the scene. Because, I mean, I know personally for me, a lot of my first draft scenes just written off the cuff, and especially the ones I'm really proud of in the moment, can be quite melodramatic. And then when you read them later, you're just like, oh wow, this isn't coming across the way I thought it was coming across. This is really a lot, and I need to reword some things to make sure the tone that I want for my story is coming across rather than melodrama. And so if you're not looking for somebody to tell you what's wrong with the scene, make sure they know that, because you don't want to get into a situation where you're just casually showing your friend some of your writing and they think that this is a, oh, you really want my like kind of expertise in this, and you really want to see how I think you can make this scene the best it can be. And then they tell you all the things that are wrong with it, and then you walk away feeling really terrible about your writing because that's not what you were looking for. You were just looking for them to be supportive and say, oh yeah, this is fantastic, I can't wait to read the rest of it. It's very important that you let them know beforehand. Okay, so done with the pets. So it's really important for you to let them know beforehand if you're looking for this to be like a actual writing advice type of session. Maybe this isn't as big of a problem if you're not neurodivergent, but for me personally, the way my brain works is if you ask me to be honest about something, I'm going to be honest about it. I know that a lot of people, I have learned that a lot of people, when they say, okay, tell me honestly, advice about something, and then they don't actually want honesty. They want you to just blindly praise it and just be supportive in their journey, in this case, their writing journey. Just be supportive, say it's great, say you're on the right track. Don't actually try to give them any advice on how to make their writing better, because that's not what they're looking for. So I think it's important for people whose minds don't work in very literal senses, like mine does, to be aware of that some people are going to take what you say in a very literal sense. And when you're looking for support in your writing, because writing is an art, it's very subjective, it's really something that's near and dear to people's hearts. So like I was mentioning in my other how to critique people's work videos, you've got to be really careful with critiques because you do want to be supportive. You do want to let them know that they're doing great, that just the act of them writing is a good thing, and that their story can get better and better and better. It's just you need to know what they're looking for, and they need to be aware of what they're looking for so that the exchange can be good and healthy and happy, and everybody's going to walk away feeling good. So when you're writing a first draft and you write a scene that you are so super proud of, you know you have some writer friends and you really, really want them to see this writing that you've done. Make sure that you're clear about what you want out of the exchange. When you hand your writing over to your friend, make sure that you let them know exactly what you're looking for in their response to your writing. Do you want just the support of, look, you got words on a page? Because honestly, that's a big part of writing, is just actually getting the words on the page. Is that what you're looking for? Just the support of, yes, you're doing this thing? Or are you looking for them to take a look at something specific in the scene? The characters, the tone, the pacing, the relevancy to the plot, how interesting it might be if this is, say, the first passage somebody reads in your book. They just pick it up in a bookstore, flip open the page, and it just happens to land on this passage. Let them know if you're looking for something specific like that, or just let them know if you are looking for something more in depth about, perhaps they know that their first drafts aren't the greatest, and so they're looking for some advice on how to go ahead and make their first draft stronger. Let the person you're exchanging your work with know what actually you're looking for so that they don't get crippled by indecision of, oh my gosh, are they going to hate me if I critique it at all? Or will they get annoyed if I just endlessly praise it and don't provide any constructive feedback? Keep in mind that when you're part of a writing community and you're looking for advice, receiving advice, or exchanging works, it's all about communication. It's all about letting the other person know what you're looking for. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you can let them know that too. You can look up different types of critiques, different types of editing, developmental line edits, proofreading, that sort of thing. She's just laying here on the sewing table. It's very cute. So just go ahead and let them know. Be communicative. It's a dialogue. Other people can't read your mind. So in order to get the most out of your writing exchange with writing buddies, just be open and let them know what you're looking for. I hope that this video was helpful. Maybe you need to send this to some of your writing buddies so that you can discuss what all of you guys want when you're exchanging your works with one another. And I hope that it was really helpful. It gave you some things to think about and perhaps change when you are seeking just any sort of feedback on little rough draft passages that you've written and you just really are proud of and want people to see. I do have a TikTok at High Fantasy Writing over there, so I have a lot more short form videos, a lot of advice videos, but also some day in the life, like how I'm doing editing. I have a couple of videos of my cat up there and just little things that I'm doing around in my life. So if you would like to go ahead and check that out, I'll leave the links in the description. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day and happy writing.